The shadow that strangles your ambition, the voice that whispers venomous lies about your worth, the insidious fog of self-doubt that has kept you shackled to mediocrity, its reign ends now. You are here because a part of you, the warrior part, is sick of being diminished. This isn't about incremental change. This is about a radical, brutal rewiring. This is crushing self-doubt, how the 7-day dangerous power challenge rewires confidence. Over the next 7 days, you will not just learn to manage self-doubt. You will learn to dismantle it, to starve it, to incinerate it, and in its place, forge a confidence so potent, so unwavering it becomes a dangerous power, dangerous to your limitations, dangerous to your old self, dangerous to anyone or anything that stands in the way of your ascent. Prepare for a transformation that will leave you unrecognizable, even to yourself. This is your wake-up call. The battle for your mind, for your life, begins with day 1. Day 1, the scouring of the soul and the unbreakable oath. The first step in any war is to know your enemy and the battlefield. Today, that enemy is the accumulated filth of self-doubt that has poisoned your inner landscape, and the battlefield is the unvarnished truth of your current existence. Mediocrity isn't just a state, it's a choice, often born from the insidious seeds of doubt. You've allowed these seeds to take root, to grow into a suffocating jungle of I can't, I'm not good enough, what if I fail? This stops. Your first task is an act of brutal honesty, a scouring of the soul. Take a pen, take paper, or open a stark blank document. You will now conduct an unflinching audit of every single doubt that plagues you. No judgment, no filtering, just raw excavation. Write down the fears that paralyze you. List the negative self-talk that echoes in your quiet moments. Itemize the perceived failures you've allowed to define you. Drag every shadow into the harsh light of examination. Is it the doubt about your intelligence, your capabilities at work, your ability to connect, to lead, to inspire, your physical presence, your very worthiness of happiness or success? Be specific, be ruthless. This list is your enemy's dossier. It might be uncomfortable. It should be. Comfort has been your prison. Think of an ancient cartographer tasked by a king to map a cursed land before it could be reclaimed. He didn't shy away from the haunted forests or the dragon's lairs. He meticulously charted every peril, every treacherous pass. Why? Because you cannot conquer what you do not understand and confront. Your list is this map of your inner cursed land. It shows you where the demons of self-doubt have established their strongholds. Once this inventory of inadequacy is complete, you will perform a ritual of severance. This is not for show. It is a declaration of intent to your deepest self. Take this list, this monument to your former limitations, and you will destroy it. Burn it safely, tear it into 1,000 pieces, and scatter it to the winds, bury it. As you do, understand that you are symbolically eradicating the power these doubts have held over you. This is a funeral for your weakness. But destruction alone is not enough. From these ashes, a new commitment must rise. This is where you forge the unbreakable oath. This oath is not a casual promise. It is a sacred vow made to the highest version of yourself, the warrior you are becoming. State it aloud with conviction. I, your name, solemnly swear to dedicate the next 7 days without reservation, without excuse, to the dangerous power challenge. I will confront my weaknesses, I will embrace discomfort, I will cultivate discipline, and I will emerge from this crucible with unshakable confidence. My word is my bond. My transformation begins now. This vow is your first act of self-mastery. It's a line drawn in the sand. On one side lies the familiar wasteland of self-doubt and mediocrity. On the other, the uncharted territory of your dangerous power. The Stoics understood the power of commitment. Marcus Aurelius didn't just philosophize, he lived by his principles, even amidst war and plague. Your war is internal, but no less significant. Today you've identified the enemy, and you've sworn an oath of allegiance to your own liberation. This is not just a self-improvement exercise, it's the beginning of your spiritual warfare against the forces that have held you captive. Tonight, you sleep as a soldier who has accepted their mission. Tomorrow, the training intensifies. Day 2, Forging the Unbreakable Mind. The the Stoic citadel. Yesterday you faced the darkness and made a vow. Today we begin construction. The self-doubt you audited thrives in a mind left untended, vulnerable to the storms of negative thought and the insidious whispers of the inner critic. Your mission today is to lay the foundation for an unbreakable mind, a Stoic citadel within from which you can command your thoughts and emotions rather than be ruled by them. This is mental warfare, and your primary weapon is Stoic philosophy. The core of Stoicism, for our purposes, lies in understanding what you can control and what you cannot. Epictetus was blunt. Some things are within our power while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power are our body, our property, reputation, office, and in a word, whatever is not of our own doing. The self-doubt festers when we obsess over what we cannot control, the opinions of others, the outcome of events, past mistakes. Confidence is built by mastering what we can control, our thoughts, our responses, our actions. Your first action today is to arm yourself with ancient wisdom. Acquire a copy of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations or selected writings of Seneca or Epictetus. Dedicate at least 30 minutes to reading, not just to absorb information, but to find resonance. Let their words on resilience, virtue, and inner peace become your mental whetstone. See how these men, facing exile, political turmoil, and personal loss, cultivated an inner fortress. Their struggles were external, but their victories were internal. Next, you will actively practice the dichotomy of control. Throughout your day, whenever a wave of anxiety, worry, or self-doubt arises, pause, ask yourself, is this thought, this feeling, this situation based on something I can directly control or something I cannot? If it's outside your control, another person's reaction, a past event, a future uncertainty, consciously release it. Visualize placing it outside the walls of your mental citadel. If it is within your control, your effort, your attitude, your next action, then focus all your energy there. This isn't about suppression, it's about strategic allocation of your mental resources. The third pillar for today is the practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils or negative visualization. This sounds counterintuitive for building confidence, but it's a powerful Stoic tool against anxiety and the fear of failure, which are bedfellows of self-doubt. Spend 10-15 minutes visualizing potential setbacks or worst-case scenarios related to a goal or a situation that causes you anxiety. But don't just wallow in the fear. Instead, calmly and rationally consider, how would I cope? What resources could I draw upon? What virtues, courage, resilience, wisdom would I need to exercise? By mentally rehearsing adversity, you strip it of its shock value. You realize that even in the worst case, you can endure, you can adapt, you can act. This practice builds not arrogance, but a quiet, robust confidence in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. It's like a fire drill for the soul. Imagine your mind as a fortress. For years, its gates have been left open, its walls crumbling, allowing marauding bands of negative thoughts and self-sabotaging beliefs to pillage your inner peace. Today, you are the architect and the stonemason. The dichotomy of control helps you identify which gates to reinforce and which illusions to dispel. Stoic readings are the blueprints for strong towers of wisdom. Negative visualization is the stress testing of your defenses, ensuring they can withstand any siege. By the end of day 2, your mental citadel will not be complete, but its foundations will be solid. You will have begun to differentiate between the noise of the world and the command of your own will. You are learning to control your mind, rather than be a slave to its untrained impulses. This is a crucial step in silencing the inner critic and cultivating the mental toughness required to unleash your dangerous power. The battle is internal, and you are learning to fight with the weapons of a philosopher king. Day 3, the alchemy of discomfort, embracing deliberate hardship. Confidence is not born from comfort. It is forged in the fires of deliberate hardship. Self-doubt whispers that you are fragile, that you must avoid pain, that safety lies in the familiar. This is a lie. True strength, the kind that radiates dangerous power, is cultivated by willingly stepping into the arena of discomfort and proving to yourself again and again that you are more resilient than you believe. Today you become an alchemist, transmuting discomfort into unshakable self-belief. Your mission for day 3 is to consciously and intentionally seek out and embrace a significant form of discomfort. This is not about self-harm or pointless suffering. It's about choosing a challenge that pushes your perceived boundaries, something that your old, doubt-ridden self would actively avoid. The nature of this discomfort is personal, but it must be meaningful and genuinely challenging for you. Consider these arenas of deliberate hardship. Physical discomfort. The infamous cold shower is a classic for a reason. It's a primal shock to the system that forces immediate presence and willpower. Or push your workout far beyond its usual limits, an extra set, a longer run, a heavier lift until true muscular failure. The point is to endure the screaming physical sensations and realize your mind can override them. Social discomfort. Initiate a difficult but necessary conversation you've been avoiding. Speak up in a meeting where you'd normally stay silent. Practice assertive communication by clearly stating a boundary or making a request you fear will be rejected. The discomfort here is the fear of judgment, rejection, or conflict. Facing it builds social courage. Intellectual discomfort. Tackle a complex problem or learn a new skill that feels overwhelming. Force your mind to grapple with something difficult until you achieve a small breakthrough. This stretches your cognitive limits and proves your capacity for growth. Emotional discomfort. This is more nuanced. It could involve sitting with an uncomfortable emotion without trying to numb or distract yourself. It could be an act of radical vulnerability with someone trustworthy, sharing a fear or insecurity. The aim is to build emotional resilience by not shying away from your inner world. Choose one such act of deliberate hardship. Before you engage, acknowledge the fear, the resistance, the voice of doubt screaming at you to retreat to safety. Then, with the resolve of your unbreakable oath from day 1 and the mental fortitude you began forging on day 2, step into it. As you endure the discomfort, focus on your breath. Remind yourself that this is a choice, a training exercise. Observe the sensations, the thoughts, without becoming them. Think of the Spartans. Their agoge wasn't designed to be pleasant. It was a brutal crucible intended to strip away weakness and forge warriors of legendary discipline and courage. They understood that by systematically exposing young men to hardship, hunger, cold, physical pain, constant scrutiny, they weren't breaking them, they were building them. They were teaching them that their limits were far beyond what they imagined. You are your own agoge today. When you complete your chosen discomfort, do not dismiss it. Reflect on the experience. How did you feel before, during, and after? What did you learn about your own capacity to endure, to persevere? Each time you willingly face and overcome discomfort, you deposit a coin in the bank of self-belief. You are literally rewiring your brain to associate challenge not with threat, but with opportunity for growth and demonstration of strength. The self-doubt that has plagued you thrives on the illusion of your fragility. It tells you that you cannot handle pressure, that you will break. Deliberate hardship is the hammer that shatters this illusion. It teaches you at a visceral, undeniable level that you are tough, that you can withstand, that you can push through. This is the alchemy. The lead of fear and avoidance is transmuted into the gold of resilient confidence. This is how you build true mental toughness, the kind that doesn't flinch when life inevitably gets hard. This is a critical ingredient of your emerging dangerous power, the power that comes from knowing you can handle whatever comes your way because you've voluntarily walked through fire and emerged stronger. Day 4, severing the chains, eradicating energy vampires and negative inputs. Your mind is a garden. For too long, self-doubt has been the rampant weed, choking the life from your potential. But weeds don't just spring from barren soil, they are often sown by external influences. Today you take up the pruning shears and the scythe. Your mission is to identify and ruthlessly sever the chains of negative inputs and energy vampires that feed your self-doubt and drain your burgeoning power. This is an act of spiritual warfare, defending your mental sanctity. The modern world is a relentless assault of information and stimuli, much of it designed to make you feel inadequate, anxious, or outraged. This is the subtle poison that weakens your resolve and fertilizes the ground for self-doubt. Your first action today is a digital detox and media fast. For 24 hours, you will consciously disengage from the noise. No social media, the curated highlight reels of others are often a direct pipeline to comparison and feelings of inadequacy. Starve that beast. No mainstream news, much of it is engineered for emotional reaction, predominantly fear and anger, which are toxic to a confident mindset. You are not burying your head in the sand, you are protecting your focus during a critical rewiring phase. No negative entertainment. Avoid shows, movies, music, or podcasts that promote cynicism, victimhood, or despair. This fast isn't about deprivation, it's about creating space. Space for your own thoughts to emerge without constant external shaping. Space to hear the quieter voice of your own nascent confidence. You'll be amazed at how much mental energy is freed up when you're not constantly processing external negativity. Your second action is to conduct an audit of your associations. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Look honestly at your inner circle and even your wider social and professional environment. Identify the energy vampires. The chronic complainer, the one who sees only problems, never solutions, and drags you into their vortex of negativity. The critic underminer, the person who subtly or not so subtly belittles your ambitions, questions your capabilities, or dismisses your efforts. They often project their own insecurities. The drama magnet, the individual whose life is a constant whirlwind of chaos and crisis, pulling you into their vortex and draining your emotional resources. The naysayer, the one who meets every new idea or aspiration with a dozen reasons why it won't work, why it's too risky, why you can't do it. Once identified, your task is to strategically limit or sever contact. This can be challenging, especially with long-standing relationships, but remember your unbreakable oath. Your transformation demands that you protect your energy fiercely. This isn't about being cruel, it's about self-preservation and creating an environment conducive to growth. For those you cannot entirely remove, practice emotional detachment, the Stoic art of not allowing their negativity to penetrate your inner citadel. Create boundaries, reduce exposure. Imagine a master gardener tending a prize-winning rose. He wouldn't allow aphids to infest it, nor would he plant it next to a toxic waste dump. He would fiercely protect its environment. Your burgeoning confidence is that rose. The negative inputs from media and toxic people are the aphids and the pollution. You must be as ruthless in protecting your mental and emotional environment as that gardener. This process of severing chains can feel like a spiritual decluttering. You are removing the energetic anchors that have kept you tethered to lower vibrational states where self-doubt thrives. As you clear out this negativity, you create a vacuum, a space that can now be filled with empowering thoughts, supportive relationships, even if initially that means more time spent with yourself and empowering materials, and a focused vision for your future. By the end of day 4, you will feel lighter, clearer. The constant barrage of negativity will have subsided, allowing the seeds of confidence planted in the previous days to receive more light and air. You are taking control not just of your internal world, but of the external influences you allow to shape it. This is a vital step in transforming from a passive recipient of circumstances into an active architect of your reality, a hallmark of someone wielding dangerous power. The less your energy is siphoned by negativity, the more you have to fuel your own ascent. Day 5: Igniting the Inner Forge, the Discipline of Action. Words, intentions, and insights are vital, but confidence is ultimately built on the bedrock of accomplishment. Self-doubt whispers that you are incapable, that your efforts are futile. Today you silence that whisper with the deafening roar of disciplined action. Your mission is to ignite the inner forge, to prove to yourself through undeniable evidence that you are a person who does what they set out to do. This is where self-mastery meets tangible results. The focus of Day 5 is the meticulous execution of one keystone habit aligned with a significant goal. This isn't about overwhelming yourself with a dozen new routines. It's about demonstrating supreme discipline in one chosen area, creating a ripple effect of self-belief. First, identify a goal that, if achieved, would significantly boost your confidence or move you closer to the life you desire. Perhaps it's a fitness goal, a career objective, a creative project, or learning a new skill. Next, break down that goal into a daily or regular action, a keystone habit. If your goal is to write a book, the keystone habit might be writing 500 words. If it's to get fit, it might be completing a specific workout. If it's to master a skill, it might be 60 minutes of focused practice. The habit must be specific, measurable, and within your capacity to achieve for one day with focused effort. Your task for today is simple yet profound. Execute this one keystone habit flawlessly with absolute commitment, regardless of how you feel. No excuses. No negotiation with the weaker part of yourself. The alarm goes off, you get up. Feeling tired, you push through. Distractions arise, you shut them down. This is not about the outcome of that single day's action in the grand scheme of your goal. It's about the process of honoring your commitment to yourself. Each act of disciplined execution is a hammer blow on the anvil of your character, forging strength and integrity. Consider the legendary swordsmiths of old. They didn't create masterpieces by idly wishing for them. They rose before dawn, stoked the forge, and engaged in thousands upon thousands of precise, disciplined hammer strikes. Each fold of the steel, each careful quench, was an act of unwavering commitment to excellence. The sword's legendary sharpness and strength were not accidents. They were the inevitable result of relentless, disciplined action. Your confidence is that blade, and today, your disciplined action is the hammer. The voice of self-doubt will be particularly loud today. It will offer compelling reasons to procrastinate, to compromise, to quit. You're too tired. It's not the perfect time. One day won't make a difference. You'll probably fail anyway. Recognize this as the death rattle of your old self. This is mental warfare. Use the Stoic principles from Day 2. Focus on your controllable action, not the discomfort or the seductive whispers of ease. Remember the discomfort you embraced on Day 3. This is simply another form of it. When you complete your keystone habit for the day, take a moment to acknowledge it, not with arrogance but with a quiet sense of earned pride. You said you would do something and you did it. This is the foundation of self-trust, and self-trust is the bedrock of genuine confidence. Each time you follow through, you are sending a powerful message to your subconscious. I am reliable, I am capable, I am a person of my word. This discipline of action is what separates the dreamer from the doer, the dabbler from the master. It's what builds momentum. One day of disciplined action might seem small, but it's a victory. String together enough of these victories and you become unstoppable. You are not just building a habit, you are building an identity, the identity of someone who possesses an iron will, someone whose commitment is unshakable. This is a core component of dangerous power, the ability to consistently execute on your intentions, turning vision into reality through sheer force of will and discipline. The world doesn't yield to wishes, it yields to focused, persistent action. Today, you prove you are a person of action. Day 6, the voice of command, speaking your reality into existence. Your internal dialogue has for too long been a script written by your inner critic, a narrative of limitation dictated by self-doubt. Today, you seize the pen. You become the author of a new story, the director of a new inner film. Your mission is to master the voice of command, to consciously rescript your self-talk and begin speaking your desired reality and your powerful self into existence. This is where the mental warfare shifts from defense to potent offense. The words you consistently use, both internally and externally, shape your perception and ultimately your reality. If your self-talk is saturated with "I can't," "I'm not," "I'm afraid," then that is the reality you will continue to manifest. To unleash your dangerous power, your language must reflect strength, capability, and unwavering confidence. Your first action today is to craft and deploy powerful affirmations. These are not wishy-washy platitudes. These are declarations of your emergent truth, spoken in the present tense as if already achieved. Based on the weaknesses you identified on day 1 and the strengths you are now cultivating, create 5-7 potent affirmations. Examples. Instead of "I hope I can be more confident," it's "I am a beacon of unshakable confidence." Instead of "I'll try to be disciplined," it's "I am disciplined action personified, my will is law." Instead of "I'm afraid of failure," it's "I embrace challenges as opportunities to demonstrate my strength and resilience." My mind is a fortress, impervious to negativity. I possess a dangerous power, and I wield it to achieve my highest potential. Write these affirmations down. Speak them aloud with conviction, with emotion, multiple times throughout the day, especially upon waking and before sleeping. Feel the truth of them. This isn't about fooling yourself, it's about reprogramming your subconscious mind, which absorbs repetition and emotional intensity. It's like tuning an instrument. You are tuning your inner frequency to that of power and success. Your second action is to consciously monitor and reframe your inner dialogue. Become hyper-aware of the automatic negative thoughts ants that arise. When you catch one, for example, "This is too hard for me," immediately challenge it and reframe it with your voice of command. "This is challenging, and I have the strength and intelligence to overcome it." Or, "This is an opportunity to prove my resilience." This is an active, ongoing battle. Marcus Aurelius constantly coached himself in his meditations, reminding himself of Stoic principles, reframing external events through the lens of virtue and reason. You must do the same. Become your own Stoic mentor. Your third action is to practice assertive communication and embodiment. How does a confident person speak? Not arrogantly, but clearly, directly, without apology for their presence or their truth. Practice this in your interactions today. Make eye contact, speak with a measured, firm tone, state your opinions and needs without excessive justification. Even your posture and body language should reflect this inner command. Stand tall, occupy your space. This isn't just fake it till you make it, it's embody it to become it. Your physiology influences your psychology. Imagine a sovereign ruler addressing their court. They don't mumble, they don't look at the floor, they don't fill their speech with ums and ahs and apologies. They speak with authority, with clarity, with the expectation of being heard and respected. This is the voice of command you are cultivating within yourself. It's the voice that silences the inner critic, that directs your actions, that projects your newfound power into the world. This rescripting is profound. You are changing the very operating system of your mind. For years, it ran on a program of self-doubt. Now you are installing a new program, one of unshakable self-belief, of radical personal agency, of the alpha mindset that takes charge of its own destiny. The battle for your mind is won not just by deflecting negative thoughts, but by proactively filling that mental space with powerful, affirming, and directive language. This internal command is what translates into external impact. As you master this voice, you're not just building confidence, you're learning to bend your personal reality to your will, a key characteristic of dangerous power. Day 7, the Phoenix Protocol, integration and unwavering commitment. You have journeyed through 6 days of intense challenge, confronting shadows, forging mental steel, embracing discomfort, severing chains, igniting discipline, and commanding your inner voice. Today, on the 7th day, you enact the Phoenix Protocol. This is not an end, but a transfiguration, a conscious integration of your learnings, and a solemn commitment to your continued evolution. The old, doubt-ridden self has been through the crucible. From its ashes, a new, powerfully confident being is ready to take flight, potentially unrecognizable to those who knew you before, and certainly to the person you were just 1 week ago. Your first action is reflection and integration. Take dedicated time today, at least an hour, with a journal. Review each day of this dangerous power challenge. Day 1, the scouring and the oath. How did it feel to confront your doubts and make that vow? What shifts began there? Day 2, the Stoic citadel. Which Stoic principles resonated most? How has practicing the dichotomy of control and negative visualization impacted your mindset? Day 3, the alchemy of discomfort. What was your chosen hardship? What did you discover about your resilience? How has your relationship with discomfort changed? Day 4, severing the chains. What negative inputs did you cut? How has the reduction in external negativity affected your internal state and energy levels? Day 5, the inner forge. What keystone habit did you execute? What did that act of discipline teach you about your capacity for follow-through? Day 6, the voice of command. Which affirmations are most potent for you? How is your internal and external communication shifting? Write down the key insights, the breakthroughs, the moments of resistance, and the moments of triumph from this week. This act of conscious reflection solidifies the learning, embedding it deep within your psyche. Acknowledge how far you've come in just 7 days. Recognize the shifts in your thinking, your emotional state, and your perception of your own capabilities. Your second action is the declaration of dangerous power and the 30-day continuation pact. This challenge was a powerful catalyst, an intense boot camp, but true transformation requires sustained effort. From the insights gained in your reflection, identify 2-3 core practices from this week that have been most impactful for you. Perhaps it's daily Stoic reading, a specific discomfort drill, rigorous adherence to your keystone habit, or consistent use of affirmations. Now you make a new vow, a continuation pact. I, your name, having completed the 7-day Dangerous Power Challenge, now commit to integrating these core practices into my life for the next 30 days. I will continue to cultivate my mental toughness, my discipline, and my unwavering confidence. I acknowledge the dangerous power I have unlocked within me, the power to overcome mediocrity, to achieve my highest potential, and to live a life of purpose and strength. This is not an end, but the beginning of my ascent. Write this down, sign it, date it. This is your commitment to ensuring the rewiring sticks. Finally, today is also about celebration and embodiment. Not a frivolous party, but a profound internal acknowledgement of your victory. You faced the dragon of self-doubt and emerged not just unscathed, but stronger. Allow yourself to feel the pride, the power, the nascent invincibility. This isn't ego, it's the earned confidence of a warrior who has proven themselves in battle. Carry yourself differently today. Walk taller, speak with more assurance. Let the energy of this transformation radiate from you. You are no longer defined by past limitations. You are defined by the strength you have forged. The phoenix rises from the ashes of its former self, more magnificent, more powerful than before. This 7-day dangerous power challenge was your pyre and your rebirth. The self-doubt that once crippled you has been fuel for your transformation. The confidence you now feel is not a fleeting emotion. It is a rewired state of being, built on a foundation of proven resilience, discipline, and self-mastery. The term dangerous power is not hyperbole. It means you are now a danger to your old limitations. You are a danger to procrastination, to fear, to mediocrity. You are a force capable of radical self-improvement and profound impact. The world needs more people who have faced their inner demons and emerged victorious, ready to unleash their full potential. This week was the ignition. The journey of self-mastery is lifelong, but you now possess the tools, the mindset, and the initial proof that you can indeed crush self-doubt and rewire your confidence to become truly unstoppable. The you that started this challenge is gone. In its place stands someone harder, wiser, and infinitely more capable. Go forth and live from this place of power. The warrior within has awakened. The challenge now is to keep it awake, to keep it training, to keep it conquering. Your dangerous power is now yours to wield. Use it well.